attitude is that your primitive sister is here. So for a long time now, the credibility of your being a civilized person is that you must speak English. You are enlightened, you are civilized. Because English is the language of the civilized people. Yoruba is vernacular. You know the meaning of vernacular? The language of the primitive people, which is not structures, which is nothing. So who wants to speak vernacular? I remember I paid fine with my money for break school. When you speak vernacular, you pay. You are not allowed to speak vernacular because to show yourself as an educated person. But my worry, I know some people share the worry. I don't know who will tell me any culture in the world where the children are educated in a foreign language. You get to Germany, I lived in Germany. German is the language of education, from primary to the university. France, Britain, Japan, Chinese. Why is your own different? Probably our problem is this place that we don't know the meaning of education. To be educated in Nigeria is to be able to speak English and write English. But I think writing and reading is a secondary thing. If you look, I've tried to look at the meaning of education. Education is a process of passing your knowledge, the knowledge of a people from generation to generation. Now, if my father wants to pass the knowledge he has to me, what language will they use? Secondly, there's one thing that I found in my Western education. Knowledge is supposed to be improved from time to time. My father will teach me something in the hope that I may improve on it. But when you read, people wrote on Africa, especially in Yoruba, they said in Africa we don't improve knowledge. That what our father tells us is what we continue to say. Professor says so. Professor Apia is from Ghana. Professor Mudimbe is from Zimbabwe. And he said our problem is that we teach our children in our language and we make them repeat what their fathers. I think the problem I have is that Yoruba seems to be extraordinary and different. I am not saying they are wrong. I have evidence that they are wrong. The Yoruba people say, "Ogbon odun ni were emi." Now, Ogbon, wisdom this year. It doesn't say ago. Where is madness. If knowledge can change beyond recognition and become madness, the people know that. So how do they think that the knowledge they give their children must be retained? But I don't blame the two of them. They don't read Yoruba language. They have not come across what I said. There are many things that Yoruba deny that because the language is poor. The Yoruba are conscious that anything you say today is temporary. You are expected to improve upon it. Wisdom is what everybody wants, knowledge. But there's a saying in Yoruba that is very interesting to me. Taba no gogo monsi nkan tí ò tó ká fi wèrè díẹ̀ ti ṣe. The Igbo man cannot understand that. I use wisdom. It's not enough. And you become mad. It means I'm mad, but I'm not mad. Does wisdom always achieve the aim? Let's think of a very short story. My brother took a wife from Ondo State and came to Lagos and told the wife that the people in the next door, when I talk to them, we quarrel. Don't go there. When he came back the next day, the girl was there. I told you not to go there. The second day, he came with some gifts with the wife. The wife was carrying the baby of those people. The third day, the same thing. What do you think the man should do? In most cases, when you try to solve a problem with wisdom, the person that tries does not appreciate wisdom. He must appreciate madness. And it happens everywhere in the world. So the question is, why do we seem not to see the importance of speaking your language, Yoruba language. Most people say the Yoruba language is primitive, it is vernacular. A professor wrote that the Yoruba people have no word for mathematics. I know they do, Ishiro. And it's a Yoruba man. Its meaning is that Ishiro means addition. After we criticize him in a conference, he changed it. He said addition, description, the four laws. Those are the four laws of mathematics. So how do you say that we don't have enough? In the same paper, he said we should not try to translate English to Yoruba. For example, television. The Yoruba translation of television is amóhùnmáwòrán. He said that's very poor translation. My question is, what is the meaning of television in English? Tele, I speak a little of German. Tele means difference, distant. Vision means seeing, so it means seeing at a distance, and that is how the German translate it. Fernsehen. Is that the meaning of television? Are you just seeing at a distance? Are you not hearing? So when you say amóhùnmáwòrán, is that more scientific, more comprehensive? It captures both your picture and that's the scientific meaning of television, audiovisual. Audiovisual is amóhùnmáwòrán, and he says that word is bad. You begin to ask yourself, what are we talking? What are we talking? There's no word. Television is not as comprehensive as amóhùnmáwòrán. But this question of hatred, of the idea that Yoruba language is inferior, is primitive. All my question is, what is the evidence for that? And for you to say the language is primitive, for God's sake, you must know it, you must speak it. Let me stop at that. So the problem we have today is that we have been brought up to believe that Yoruba language is a vernacular, it is inferior. The white man who said that does not speak Yoruba. Now, my duty is to find out whether what he says is right. I go and study Yoruba, and I come back and tell him that my language is better than your own. That is what I've been trying to do. I don't argue that English is not better than Yoruba. I don't argue that Yoruba is not good, it's good. I want to say something in Yoruba, say it in English, and compare whether what my people said is not right. Those people have not done any investigation. The Igbo man wants you to speak his English language, he must destroy your own. He must promote his own. But we are the only slaves in the world who accepted the dictation of their master. The Japanese speak English to Japan, the Chinese, and they have invented so many things. They speak their language. They teach their children. Those of you who believe that English is better, you have been educating your children. What have you found? What have you invented? You have not done anything. Because you are, even the English you are reading, you don't even understand the meaning of English. So let me stop at that. One, if they say Yoruba is bad, I don't say yes or no. I will tell you, please research into Yoruba. You must know Yoruba. You must look at it. You must study it before you know. And I can promise you, not every word in Yoruba is right, but there's a lot of good things said in Yoruba language. There's no language that is perfect. Study your language, identify the one that is useful, and take away. But leaving it, not speaking it and learning it, you are killing it, you are committing suicide. Anybody who is anxious that we are not speaking Yoruba, I must be careful. Are you saying we should replace English with Yoruba? The question is, why is it that we are not speaking our language? Anybody who comes up and says we should not speak English, we should speak Yoruba, doesn't understand. One, this country is made up of 253. Unless you are saying we should break up. If I speak only Yoruba, how do I communicate with others? How will I communicate with Igbo or Hausa? If the Hausa does not speak English, how will he communicate with me? So we take English as lingua franca. But that does not mean you should not know your own language. Because your culture, everything you have discovered in the world is in your language. So in this kind of situation, my worry is that even the English that you are teaching in school, your children are speaking bad English.